Thank you for taking this moment to breathe and to listen to what can change your life forever. My name is Ragnar Zinikas and I'm the founder of Starpreneurs TV, How to Dominate the Decade talk show, World Women Conference and Awards, and the creator of Coral Desk. My mission is to empower through education. And I want to thank you who took the time today to spend whether it's a morning, whether it's an afternoon for you, depending where you are, to just listen and hopefully hear something that has the power to change your life. So today we have a great guest from Atlanta, United States, and a little bit about her. So today I have the honor to talk with Dr. Cortesa Cowan, and she's the founder and CEO of Mothers Helping Mother, Inc. And let's say that the biography is very impressive, and I don't want to take much of the mystique away from it. So let's hear from her who she is and why is she really doing what she's doing. So Dr. Cowan, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for having me.
So tell us your story. Why are you doing what you're doing, and what Dr. Cowan is all about?
Well, Dr. Cowan is CEO of many hats, but one of my favorite hats is being the founder and visionary officer for Mothers Helping Mothers, which is a nonprofit that I created in 2006. It became a 501c3 in 2009. And the passion came behind, I was also a teen mother. I grew up in Lima, Ohio, which is a small town inside of Ohio. And growing up, I became a teen mother, and the struggles that I saw when I moved to Columbus, Ohio at 19 years old, having my second child, I did not experience. And so in 2006, I just asked myself, how could I support the teen moms that I was seeing that had either lack of services, they were homeless, or they just didn't understand what it was going to take to be a great parent. And so that's where Mothers Help Mothers came along. I actually had a childcare center in my house. And so with the childcare center, I opened up a free store, which was a place where the girls could receive like diapers, wipes, toiletry items, and things of that sort for free. Well, doing that and starting that campaign, I noticed that the girls were always like yelling and screaming at their children, or just very frustrated when picking their kids up. And then I had to think, well, I was a teen mom and I didn't react that way with my son. I didn't cuss at him. I didn't hit on him. I wasn't doing some of the behaviors that I saw these young girls doing. And so I started to ask a lot of questions. And the biggest need was a lot of those girls were actually picking their kids up, but didn't have a place to live when they left. And so as the founder and CEO, working with a team of people, we decided to open up a shelter house, but it actually got bigger than that. And so in 2011, we took on a 194,000 square foot facility where we started an HIV testing center. We started a dormitory where girls can sleep. We started a daycare center. We were inside a school with a high school. So our girls got their high school diplomas instead of their GEDs in less time that it would take them to actually finish the 4 years of regular school. They worked at their own pace. And so doing that, that's how Mothers Help Mothers flourished. And that's how Dr. Cowan became who I am today. It's really taking the passion of supporting and strengthening teen moms all across the country. And now we're in Cape Town, South Africa, where we helped refuge teen moms and homeless teen moms over there. And then we're building a wisdom center in Nigeria to do the same thing we do here in the States.
This is beautiful. So what would you say, having this experience, have gone through all of this, how do you distinguish yourself in business and in life? Because I think, as you saw there, like you just gave us example, some mothers were screaming, some mothers were acting or reacting on something differently. What would you say? What is your uniqueness? Why people are coming to you and thrown to you?
I think the uniqueness with myself is the fact that, one, I've been in their shoes when I can say I was a teen mom. Two, my mother and father was incarcerated before, and I didn't come from, a silver spoon. And so I understand the background of a lot of these young moms, but also having the compassion for not seeing them as a number or a client, but as a person and a name. So being familiarized with someone that they can see really loves them and cares for them, they gravitate to that. We've been able to help so many girls because most of the staff or most of the volunteers have walked their life, have been in their shoes. And so I just think that the nature, as my mom said, I was called Tisha Mama as a kid because I always acted as someone's mother, but in a nurturing way to help see them grow. And so I think that's the distinct difference from myself and other people in this industry or in this space, is that I literally use the nurturing of a mother figure for every single client or every single mom that comes into contact with me.
And what would you say today? What are the biggest challenges that those teen mothers are actually facing today?
The biggest challenges that they're facing today is the fact that the resources are just not there for teen moms. And then if you put on top of teen moms and human trafficking, the resources are really limited to these moms. And so the fact that we were able to create a one-stop shop for them to be able to get all the resources they need, it helped us not see repeated pregnancies or infant mortality on our watch. And so giving more resources to girls all across the world is what's needed. They're lacking the foundation they need of how to raise a child. They're lacking parenting skills. They're lacking just having someone to love on them and say, you may have created this role, but it's not over. And to look at someone like me who was a 16-year-old mom and is now in this space, I think it gives them a lot more hope. But the main thing that I'm seeing is housing and lack of support services, because we know about homeless youth, but we don't tackle homeless teen moms. They are also youth. They're also under the age of 18. So we have to find a way to identify the needs that they have. And so I think that's what we've done here at Mother Supper Mothers, is identify the need and have done our best with the lack thereof to make sure that they continue to succeed in life as mothers.
Do you have any prevention programs set? Is there anything that the community could do in order to prevent those situations, whether it's unwanted pregnancy, whether it's obviously nobody wants to be homeless, and et cetera, et cetera. So usually when we see, when we're able to tackle also the root of the problem, there should be decreasing numbers that we need to really focus on the end of the day to solve the problem. What do you think of that, and do you have any of those programs in place?
So we have a parenting prevention program in place, and it's for girls. We call them Stars in a Bottle, but we're in the process of changing the name of that. But it's for young girls that they're in adolescence and they still need a foundation of love and family. And so if we can get them early, which is what we do, we work with them so that they don't become teen moms. We do a lot of group programming and girl talk programs and workshops to keep them stable and to keep them thinking about school. Books Over Boys is one of our programs that we use to make sure that the girls understand how important education is and how important it is to stay away from the things that can make you fall into the trap of becoming a teen mom. But for someone like me, they always say, well, girls that become teen moms, they're just out there and they're moving around and they're all over the place. That was not my case. My mother and father were both incarcerated. I was 14 years old. I met a wonderful guy who is now my husband. I've been with him since I was 14 years old. So it's not always that stereotypic situation. And so when we work with the girls that are not teen moms, we let them know there is life after teen pregnancy, but we want to get you to a point where that doesn't even happen. And so I think I'm doing a really good job at that, because even my daughter was not a teen mother. She graduated high school, went to college, and then she just got married and had her first baby. And so, and the same with my son, he wasn't a teen father. And so that's I feel like even the foundation, I'm seeing it in my own home. We've stopped, teen pregnancy within all of my sisters. That is 10 of us, and none of our girls were teen moms. And so I think that we have a nice blueprint for prevention. And we're doing a good job in the United States because numbers are dropping, but it's those mothers that are already teen moms that are falling into trap of not getting help. Now, where we're seeing an increase is human trafficking victims that are now pregnant and being thrown away. And so now they're in that number of homeless teen moms, because once they're pregnant, they're no good to the trafficker. They're no good to the person that was trafficking them in the first place. So that's where we're seeing the increase in numbers, and that's where I'm focused on right now, on what resources we can give so that would also drop.
This is incredible. Thank you very much for all the things that you're doing and the contribution which you are making in that field. I think that's something which even to just listen to you, and it's a lot of work, and it really needs the discipline and needs really also the understanding, even though when you could say today that you see the greatness in all of this education and the awareness working for all the people that you have already being mentoring, sort of, no? But I think that again, it shows the power of education, and it shows really the power of being aware and having the understanding what my choices can bring to me, no?
Absolutely.
This is incredible. So let's talk a little more like, is there specific projects or some specific programs that you started now during the COVID-19? Like, is there anything which has shifted and you need to do something differently? And if yes, what it is?
So what shifted with our COVID-19 is, one, we did have to fall back on new clients, but what we did was, well, how can we put that energy somewhere else? And as of last year, when we were working with Cape Town, South Africa, we have now stepped up more initiative for over there, because they don't have the same resources that we have during COVID. And so giving more food to over there, we created a text to give number so that we can do more, because literally their conditions of living, one, is already really, really low. And then to have COVID on top of that, Mothers Helping Mothers and myself and a couple other teams that have come together, we've shifted how we have done things in the States and really focused our attention on Africa. Due to, again, we just all were, COVID hit us all hard, but for some of those rural areas that don't have the same services we have in the States, that's been our biggest shift during the COVID. And also recreating a safe house here in Georgia with a couple of my female friends. We're coming together to create a positive home for girls that are not teen moms, that are now gravitating to us, because being at home and not being able to go to school, there's a lot more domestic violence that they're seeing. It's a lot more hungerness that's going on in the houses, and the girls are being targeted. The older girls are being targeted even by single mothers or by the fathers that live in this house. They're taking their energy and their frustration out on these girls. And so now they're calling to, like, take us skating, do something with us. I was just talking to my friend Tamika, and she said one of the girls she had yesterday with her daughters asked her to adopt her. And so I said, wow, that means there's something going on in that house for her to feel like she wants to leave home. And she was like, yeah, her mom is a single mom working 2 jobs, and she has sisters. And I was just like, wow, I don't know, at that point, what do we do for these girls? So even if it's not a home where they can sleep all the time, we want to make it a safe house for them to come to, especially during COVID right now, that just have an outlet and somewhere to go. So that's our biggest project we're working on right now here in Georgia.
Is domestic violence also something, or human rights in a direct, let's say, relation with the domestic violence, something that you have been needing to deal with, or yeah?
Yeah, I just spoke about domestic violence with another group out of the UK, and I spoke with them because we deal with it, we see it. There's a lot of teen domestic violence. I don't think people actually understand that, especially if you feel like you're in a relationship with your significant other as a teenager. You know, things happen and you get into fights. You know, they in Ohio, a girl was killed by her boyfriend, and they were teenagers. And so we see it a lot, and we try to bring in the right professionals to deal with that, just because that's a very sad topic, but it's also a topic where you have to deal with that right now. And there's a lot of adult shelters for this, but there's not any teen shelters. So right now, if a girl calls us and say, I'm in a domestic violence situation and there's nothing I can do, we have nowhere to send them. Even as an agency as big as ours, we have nowhere to send them because we just don't have homes for anyone under the age of 18 dealing with domestic violence.
Wow, this is most certainly a point to get attention to, because I think that wherever we see worldwide, one COVID effect for domestic violence was really brutal, and the numbers are out of the roof, and which is very, very sad to see, but that's the reality, and we can't really hide away. So. But let's talk about a little more about you, and also the let's say the side that also shines, and what makes really everything worthwhile, in the sense that that we know that if on a daily basis you are basically the problem solver, so everybody comes to you because they are in a very, very extreme, let's say, situation. So I think that in order to really balance it out, there needs to be recognitions. There needs to be, even if it's a good words or someone recognizing you for the job. This is why you also feel that, okay, my work has been done. But let's talk about the awards that you have received, and what can you say? What has been the closest to your heart, or something that you said that, okay, like if I will get this award, that will be a real recognition for me and for my job?
And I always tell people, I just said that when we were on a conference call the other day, I really don't look for the accolades or the rewards. I do it because I'm a servant, and that's number one for me. But to get the phone call that I was receiving, or was in a recipient to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award from President Barack Obama, that was amazing for me. I got that in 2016. And so at this point, I feel like I've had the top stamp, and that anything else that comes along is just, you know, wonderful people or organizations that really see how hard it is to do this type of work. And you're talking about the work being done with little to no funding. My child care center has been the main resource that funded this center as far as it has. We are not a multi-million-dollar company. We haven't had, you know, a big donor base, and we've still helped over 30,000 girls in the state. And so that would be the top award, just rewarding enough to see a girl not end up in a position after coming to us. To see success stories is my number one ultimate goal. And so that's been the most rewarding, just to watch the girls not fall back into poverty or fall back into a mentality that they can't make it. And, you know, a lot of them has become like daughters to me now. So I get a lot of updates and a lot of phone calls or text messages or inboxes on how they're doing. A couple just got married. And so just to see that our agency has been that great to them is the most rewarding. Everything else, all the other awards and accolades I have behind me is just, you know, a pat on the back and God saying your work is not in vain, and people is watching around the world. And that's been the most amazing thing for me.
You also have been co-authoring a lot of books. Can you tell us about those books?
So I am a co-author of most of the books that I'm a co-author in are books that are pushing women forward, because not only do I do Mothers Helping Mothers, but I'm also a birthing coach. But a birthing coach as in you can come to me with a dream or a vision and I can help make it a business. So the actual book I just finished was this one. It's called The Making of Successful Businesswoman, and it's 20 authors, and all of us came together and we wanted to give you the blueprint of what it takes to be a successful business owner and not just sugarcoat it. We wanted you to hear the sad parts, the parts that were, where you wanted to throw in the towel, but then you found perseverance and kept going. And so I was honored to be in all the books that I'm in: Girls Thrive, Girls Get Up and Win, Making of a Successful Businesswoman, Miss CEO, all of those books. They have amazing stories in them from women all over the country, all over the world. But my precious pride and joy is my personal book I did on my own, which is Finding Your Purpose, Passion, and Planning It Out in 20 Days. And it's used based off the biblical Bible. And you have reflection questions and notes. And so I use that to help women find their true purpose and their true potential in life. And it's been rewarding to get emails and phone calls about, how women are becoming unstuck due to that 20-day manual. And so it's been an honor to be in all of the books, but to know that I got a personal book out there that's changing the lives of women and helping them find what it is that they're supposed to be doing in life is the best reward of being an author. But I did make the bestsellers 3 times with some of those books, so I thank God for that too.
Congratulations, and I'm pretty sure that those are very enjoyable and very knowledgeable reading. So whoever that you're watching, I hope that you will look her name up and you will find the most suitable book for you. But what do you think, what will future bring to you personally and professionally?
So personally, when I started this agency, I was in my early 20s, like 23 years old. And so my children are humble kids. They saw what their mom was doing. And so in my new future, my 3 grandchildren, spending more time with them, giving them maybe some of the time that I wasn't able to give my kids, building this foundation. But now that it's built and it has a legacy of its own, spending more time with my children and my grandchildren and my new son-in-law and daughter-in-law is going to be amazing. But then in the business world, creating a blueprint that would just take on a life on its own so that I could still continue the mission of helping young girls and making sure that they have the support services they need, but also seeing a lot more women win and see a lot more women take control of their lives and become who they are and give their fruits to the world is what I see for the future right now.
Beautiful. So I want to thank you, everybody that has joined us today to listen to this interview. And I'm pretty sure that today you have heard, maybe a lot of you have heard something that they have never heard before or even could imagine because you haven't had your own experience. But I want to thank you for really taking the time. We would also love to hear back from you. So leave your comments, recommendations, or even if you have any questions below this video. And once this video is premiered, we will get back to you. So Cortesa, what are your 3 recommendations how to dominate the decade?
So my 3 recommendations on how to dominate this decade is 1, having perseverance, 2, having tough skin and know that there's things that's going to come about, but you got to remember your why on whatever it is that you're doing in life and know that that is going to make you dominate whatever space that you're in. And the 3rd one is just having belief in yourself, understanding that there are going to be naysayers, there are going to be people that come along and try to tell you to do your vision this way or that way, but sticking to who you are and what you're supposed to be doing and just having the belief in yourself that you can do whatever it is that you're set out to do would be the very top of that would be perseverance though. Just continuing to push forward even in trials. We all just went through COVID and understand how difficult that was, but we all had to have perseverance for that to be able to move forward. And so that's what I think that you need to dominate the decade to come is just to have perseverance, believe in yourself, and just remember your why.
Those are beautiful recommendations, and who you are watching, I encourage you to write down Cortesia's recommendations, and then think of your 3 recommendations if someone would ask you what they would really be, and are you really living up to them, or this is wishful thinking that you would love to have those in order to really dominate the decade. But Cortesia, if someone wants to follow you, if someone wants to contact you, how they can do so?
I made it very simple just because I know it's hard to pronounce my name. So everything is Dr. Cortesa Cowan. All of my handlers from LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, even my website is www.drcortesacowan.com. And it's just Dr. DR, no dot or anything. Just that's all you put in is Dr. Cortesa Cowan, and you'll find me on any social media outlets.
Beautiful. What would be your last message to everybody that took time today to listen to our interview?
My message would be that as a business owner or as an entrepreneur, as a mother or a sister or aunt, as someone that wakes up every day and say, what is it that I need to be doing? We all want to leave a legacy or do something for our families, but I want you to take a challenge and do something for someone else. Just go out and do something for someone else. It'll make you feel so much better. And if you can't create something to do for someone else, join a movement or a team or organization that is already doing some amazing work in your community or in your organizational areas, and just be a part of it, because it is definitely needed. All of us needs to be, hands-on doing something with someone, especially after the crisis of COVID. So that's what I would leave to the viewers, is to just go out and do something, even if it's just to, put a nice note on someone's car. Just do something to make someone else happy today.
Beautiful. So you can become the hero of your life today. How? By taking action on those 3 points that I asked you to write down. And you can also become the hero in someone else's life. How? By sharing this video. Sharing is caring. And I want you to remember, as Dr. Cortesa was just saying, that never underestimate the power of one. And the power of one is that every single one of us can change one person's life. Sometimes it's, as she said, a beautiful word, a encouraging word, maybe it's $10, but sometimes it's everything that we need at that time. So find that one person and make it happen. And I will see you in our next episode. Dr. Cortesa Cowan, I want to celebrate you. I want to congratulate you for everything that you have been doing in our community, in our society, so that the world would be a better place for all those teen girls which need guidance and need the someone who can show the way. And thank you for doing it. And I'm looking forward for your next award from the next president.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It was an honor. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you. And we will see in our next episode.